Who has ever felt kind of guilty, a little shameful around the topic of sexuality in their life? Raise your hand. You're in good company, I heard, right? So I think we all know that, because you see, as we'll dive into, the conditioning that we are subject to ever since the moment we kind of choose a body to reincarnate in is huge, right? And that conditioning definitely from a religious point of view, from churches, is very strong, very powerful. And even if you don't realize that you've been conditioned by religious dogma, you most likely have. Right?
As we're moving towards also preparing for a couples retreat next year, this is a great subject that definitely we want to look into and dissect it and then really
and eradicate.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
The guilt and the shame and the sin, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And talking from my perspective as a man, because that's where we relate to each other in that sense, is I reading what you read, I totally resonate with that, also from mainly from my past, and also being raised Catholic. And even though we never talked about sex, I mean, it's kind of strange that you can feel so guilty, so ashamed about that subject. I mean,
a natural, right, innate human drive.
Right.
Okay.
And understand me well, I have 4 brothers. There's one thing we never talk about is this.
Really?
Right?
You guys never talk about it?
No, we never talk about it. Like, how do you do it? How about that?
Okay.
0.
That is fascinating. Girls, don't we girls talk about it a lot with our girlfriends? Do you guys? I do.
I suspect all my brothers do it, but we never talked about it. I mean, just to give an idea how suppressed this subject really is. So yeah, I totally relate to that. And you brought something up. Now I know better. But when I was younger, I never thought that women would do it too. I thought, yeah, only men do it. Women, they don't need this. They're fine. So when I read this, I said, holy shit, this is exactly, not anymore since I know you, but before.
You broke that paradigm.
Yeah, you broke the paradigm for me.
Okay, so let's clean up some myths here, ladies. Have you ever masturbated? Yes, we girls do too. And I actually strongly recommend it in all my goddess trainings, because I say we have 8,000 nerve endings serving our pleasure. It's pleasure you can create for yourself within your own body. It's a way to show your love to your own body. It's a way of creating high vibrations of healing within yourself. It's one of the most magical ways of manifestation if you do it right. So why not do it? Why not use those nerve endings? And the fun theory about it is, or not theory, it's a reality, sadly, for you guys, is that, we have 8,000 nerve endings.
We have only 4.
Yeah.
1,000.
We only have 4,000, right? And then we have other fun myths, and that is maybe a myth that guys can only have 1 orgasm at a time, right? Who bought into that myth? Many, right? Because men had not been, and still are not being educated in what I think you're referring to is I call it divine sexuality, sacred sexuality, where we see sexuality as a innate human drive. It's a survival drive, but it is also so much more. It is one of the paths to enlightenment. Look, study Tantra, study many of the Eastern philosophies who were very tuned into how do I use that energy that I am generating in the sexual field for manifestation, for healing, for connection, right? And it's so sad that in our society we're still riddled with this Pisces, right, awareness, and then all the conditioning of churches, of your own parents. I mean, who of you had parents who were really living their full sexual expression in a safe, good, great way?